Yes. So today we start with the next topic of the central nervous system, that is the cerebrum and the superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. See, this is superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. You know very well the cerebrum. Each cerebral hemisphere has got three surfaces: the superior lateral, the convex one, the medial, and inferior. See, this is superior lateral surface. Understand? So that surface related with skull, the inner aspect of the skull. Now you know very well the cerebrum, the internal structure of the cerebrum. So it is made up of grey matter and white matter. The outermost covering is made up of grey matter and the innermost portion is made up of white matter. And the white matter consists of the masses of grey matter, and these masses of grey matter called as the corpus callosum or basal nuclei. Now the exam point of view, the superior lateral surface is important one. Now what happened here? So this superior lateral surface of cerebral hemisphere is folded itself, get convolutions, it folded and it forming the convolutions, means it forming the depressions as well as elevations. The depressions present over the cerebral hemisphere of the superior lateral surface, these depressions are called as sulcus, and the elevations are called as the gyri or the gyrus. The gyri is the plural one and the gyrus is the singular one. Now see, this is the superior lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere. It is a convex one. It is related with the inner aspect of the skull. It is covered by dura mater, remember. Now see, these are the sulci present here. Now the first important sulci present here, that is the central sulcus. See, this is a central sulcus. What it does, this central sulcus divides the cerebrum into the two parts. The anterior portion is called as the frontal lobe and the posterior superior portion is called as the parietal lobe. So the central sulcus present between frontal as well as parietal lobe of cerebral hemisphere. Now another important sulcus present here, that is a lateral sulcus. This is lateral sulcus. So this lateral sulcus, it present between frontal, parietal and temporal lobe. In between these three lobes, the sulcus present is a complete one. So this is a lateral sulcus. So these are the important sulcus present. Another sulcus is also present here. Sulci also present here. So these are exactly in front of central sulcus. Sulci present, sulcus present. So that is precentral sulcus. Where it present? It present exactly in front of central sulcus. Remember, central sulcus present exactly in the midline of cerebral hemisphere. And in front of central sulcus, so there is a precentral sulcus. Just behind the central sulcus, say this is post-central sulcus. This is a post-central sulcus. Okay. Now, this precentral sulcus, from this precentral sulcus, three small sulci originates. So two sulci originate. So in that, see, this is superior frontal sulcus and this is inferior frontal sulcus. So these are the sulci which originate from the precentral sulcus in the frontal lobe. Now in between these sulci, the gyri present. Just above the superior frontal sulcus, the gyri present is superior frontal gyri. Between superior frontal sulcus and inferior frontal sulcus, the gyri present is middle frontal gyri. Just below the inferior frontal sulcus, the area or the gyri present is the inferior frontal gyri. So these are the name given to the areas, and each area has got the spatial functions. Now exactly in front of precentral sulcus, the area present, and this area is called as the precentral gyrus. Where it present? The precentral gyrus present between central sulcus and precentral sulcus. Now just behind the precentral sulcus, the gyri present, and this gyri is called as the post-central gyri. What is post-central gyri? So this is the gyri or the elevation present just behind the precentral sulcus. Understand? Now from this post-central sulcus, the transverse sulci originate. The transverse sulci divides parietal lobe into the two parts, the upper and lower. So this sulci has got a special name. So this is called as the intraparietal sulcus. This is what? This is intraparietal sulcus, means the sulcus present or the divides parietal lobe into the upper as well as lower part. The upper portion, so that portion is called as the superior parietal lobule, and the lower portion is called as the angular gyri. Now remember, each gyri consists of the various functional centers. So that is again important here. Now on the occipital lobe, two important sulci present. So the occipital lobe, the main sulci present, so that sulci is called as the calcarean sulcus. So this is calcarean sulcus. The posterior most part of the occipital lobe. So again one sulci present there. So that is called as the illuminate sulcus. So this is illuminate sulcus. So these are the sulci, the important sulci. Remember, so many sulci present over the superior lateral surface of the occipital lobe. But these two are the important ones that we discuss here. The important sulci we discuss here. Then this is temporal lobe. The temporal lobe consists of two important sulci, the superior temporal sulcus and the inferior temporal sulcus. In between these two sulci there are gyri. So just about to this superior temporal sulcus, the gyri present is the superior temporal gyrus. This is superior temporal gyrus. Between superior temporal sulci and inferior temporal sulci, the gyri present is middle temporal gyrus. Then just below the inferior temporal sulci, the gyri present is the inferior temporal gyri. So remember, these are the important sulci present over the frontal, parietal, occipital and temporal lobe. Cerebral hemisphere, the outer surface of the cerebral hemisphere, it is made up of so many folds, the convolutions, the sulci are the depressions and the gyri are the elevations. These are the important sulci as well as gyri present over the superior lateral surface. Now remember, each gyri consists of the functional areas. We have 48 functional areas present over the each cerebral hemisphere. The Brodmann's areas, the Brodmann's classification. Understand? So we have the 48 areas, and remember these areas present in this gyri. I repeat, all the sulcus gyri present here. Now the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe, it consists of two important sulci. So that is central sulci as well as precentral sulci, as well as superior frontal sulci and inferior frontal sulci. The gyri present here exactly in front of central sulci. The gyrus is precentral gyrus. Then this is superior frontal gyrus, this is middle frontal gyrus, and this is inferior frontal gyrus. Then temporal lobe, the intraparietal sulcus is there. Gyri present, superior parietal lobule and angular gyri. Then occipital lobe, the calcarean sulcus as well as illuminate sulcus present there, which is made for the vision. Then the temporal lobe, so it consists of the two important sulci and three important gyri. The sulci are the superior temporal sulcus and inferior temporal sulcus. The gyri are the superior temporal gyri, middle temporal gyri and inferior temporal gyri. Remember, these are the important sulci as well as the gyri present over the superior lateral surface. This is central one, which divides frontal and parietal lobe, and this is lateral sulcus. Again, these are the important one, which present between frontal, parietal and temporal. Now we discuss with the areas present over the superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. Previously we discussed regarding the sulci as well as gyri present over the superior lateral surface. I told that the gyri consist of the various functional areas. You know that we have 48 areas present over the sulci as well as gyri, mainly the gyri. Now these areas divided into the superior lateral as well as medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere. Now the exam point of view, the superior lateral surface is important. So here we discuss the areas present over the superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. Now in that, the first important area, that is area number 312. So that area number 312, it lies in post-central gyrus. What is post-central gyrus? It is elevation present just behind the central sulcus. So that area number 312, it is primary sensory area. What is it? So it is a primary sensory area. Remember, it lies in post-central gyrus. This is area number 312. What it does, the function of this area receives all ascending sensory tract. Whatever sensation from our body as well as surroundings, all this sensation is received by this area. So this is primary sensory area, area number 312, present in post-central gyrus. It receives all sensations from surrounding as well as our body, exception is there, except the auditory, visual and olfactory, smell. So the post-central area, post-central gyrus, so 312 is the area number, so it is primary sensory area. It receives all ascending sensory input except auditory, visual as well as olfactory impulses. Now what is the function of this area? So this area receives sensory information from body as well as surroundings and make analysis as well as interpretation of impulses. So that is the main function of this area. Area number 312, receiving the all sensory information from the body as well as surrounding, make analysis and interpretation of impulses. So this is primary sensory area. Then the next area, that is area number 4. So that area number 4 present in precentral gyrus. So that area is called as the motor area. It is very important area. So this is motor area. So that area gives rise to the corticospinal tract. All descending tract began from area number 4. Remember, all ascending tract ends in area number 312 and all descending tract or the motor tract began from area number 4. So this is motor area. So what it does, what is the function of this motor area? So this area controls the motor as well as skillful activities of our body. For example, जितने भी मोटर एक्टिविटीज हमारे बॉडी के हैं या स्किलफुल मूवमेंट्स है, वो एरिया अगर कोई कंट्रोल कर रहा है तो दैट इज एरिया नंबर 4. इट लाइज इन प्री सेंट्रल गैरस. अगर सिंपल एग्जांपल लास्ट लेक्चर में मैंने दिया था, सपोज समबडी पिंचिंग मी हियर, अगर कोई मुझे यहाँ पर पिंच कर रहा है तो ये सेंसेशन जाएगा थ्रू स्पाइनल नर्व, ये जाएगा तुम्हारे एरिया नंबर 312 के पास. यहाँ पर वो पूरा सेंसेशन आएगा समबडी पिंचिंग मी हियर. तो ये एरिया क्या करेगा, मैंने पहले जैसे बोला कि ये इंटरप्रेट करेगा, ये एनालिसिस करेगा कि सम पिंच कर रहा है तो मुझे तकलीफ हो रहा है, फिर ये ऑर्डर देगा मोटर एरिया को जहाँ से कॉर्टिकोस्पाइनल ट्रैक्ट we just remove the hand. So that is area number 4. It controls the all motor activities as well as skillful movements of our body. Now, so this is important regarding the area number 4. Now again the important function of area number 4. So this area initiate and controls the movements of opposite side of our body. So that is again important here. So the right cerebral hemisphere controlling the movements of left side of our body and left cerebral hemisphere controlling the movements of right side of our body, because at the level of medulla, so there is a pyramidal decussation occurs, means crossing of fibers. राइट साइड के फाइबर्स जाते हैं तुम्हारे लेफ्ट साइड में और लेफ्ट साइड के फाइबर्स जाते हैं राइट साइड में. सो दैट इज pyramidal decussation. इसलिए मैंने बोला कि ये जो मोटा एरिया ये कंट्रोल करेगा अपोजिट साइड. सपोज राइट हेमिस्फीयर मेरा है वो कंट्रोल कर रहा है लेफ्ट साइड और लेफ्ट सेरेब्रल हेमिस्फीयर कंट्रोल कर रहा है मेरा राइट साइड ऑफ आवर बॉडी. सो दिस इज रिगार्डिंग एरिया नंबर 4. देन एरिया नंबर 6. नाउ दिस एरिया नंबर 6, it is called as the premotor area. It lies exactly in front of motor area. That's why this is premotor area. So where it lies? It lies exactly in front of precentral sulcus. This is area number 6. Exactly in front of that, that is area number 6. This is premotor area. So what it does, the function of this premotor area, this area concerned with extrapyramidal system of our body. अभी extrapyramidal system किससे बना या क्या कंट्रोल कर रहा है? This extrapyramidal system controls the muscle tone and fine movements of our body. ये जो हमारे मसल को टाइटनेस जो आ रहा है ना, so that is called as the muscle tone. और जो कि मूवमेंट मेरे मसल के हो रहे हैं, these are the fine movements. Suppose I am writing, I am playing instruments, so these are the fine movements. तो ये कौन सा सिस्टम कंट्रोल कर रहा है? सो दैट इज एक्स्ट्रा पिरामिडल। यहाँ पर पिरामिडल ट्रैक्ट्स यहाँ पर शुरू होते हैं, उसके exactly in front of this pyramidal or the motor area there is a premotor area, and that premotor area is called as the extrapyramidal area or the extrapyramidal system, which controls the muscle tone and fine movements of our body. Now along with this area number 6, the another area also present there, that is area number 8. So this area number 6 and area number 8, so these both areas grouply called as the frontal eye field. Now this frontal eye field ये कहाँ पर मिलेगा ये एरिया? So that area lies in middle frontal gyrus. So this is frontal eye field. So what it does? Remember this area concern for the movements of eyeball. हमारे eyeball के जितने भी movements है वो कौन सा एरिया कंसर्न कर रहा है? The frontal eye field. Frontal eye field ये एरिया कहाँ पर मिल रहा है हमको? So it lies in middle frontal gyrus. वो एरिया का नंबर क्या है? Area number 6 as well as area number 8. Okay. Now in front of this middle frontal gyrus, the area is called as the prefrontal area. What is it? So this is prefrontal area. See, this is prefrontal area. So that area lies exactly in front of superior, middle and inferior frontal gyrus. Now the number given to these areas, the numbers are 9, 10, 11, 12. Another number present, not present over the superior iliac surface, that is area number 32. So it lies on the parietal lobe, superior surface. So this area number 9, 10, 11 and 32. So the function of this area, so these 5 areas, area number 9, 10, 11, 12 along with 32. So these areas controls the reproductive system as well as hunger, as well as judgment, emotions, foresight and concentrations. हमारे जितने भी मेन फंक्शंस है, the digestive functions, the hunger, then reproductive, again it is the important function, then judgment, then all emotions, along with emotion the foresight, concentration. ये areas ये कौन कंट्रोल कर रहा है? एरिया नंबर 9, 10, 11, 12 along with area number 32. If this area get damaged, अगर ये एरिया डैमेज होता है तो हम लोग प्रॉपर जजमेंट नहीं ले सकते, हम लोग इमोशनलेस हो जाते हैं. अंडरस्टैंड? सो हमारे हंगर कंट्रोल नहीं रहेगा या रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के कंट्रोल्स हमारे डैमेज हो जाते हैं. Now another area, again it is very important area, so that area is called as the silent area. So what is silent area? The silent area lies in superior as well as middle frontal gyrus. ये दो एरिया के, दो गायरस के बीच में, दो गायरस में हमको एक एरिया मिलेगा, so that is silent area. ये एरिया बहुत important है. Why this area is important? Because it is the area for memory, it is the area for intelligence, it is the area for learning process, and it is the area for social behavior. Remember, the silent area, it lies in superior frontal gyrus and middle frontal gyrus. It is responsible for the memory, the intelligence, the learning processes as well as social behavior. Now the another area present for this frontal lobe, so that is area number 44 and 45. So this is area number 44 and 45. Where it present? So that area present just below the inferior frontal gyrus. Inferior frontal gyrus. So it lies in pars triangularis and pars opercularis. So these are the parts of lateral sulcus, the pars triangularis and pars opercularis. In between these, the area lies, the number given to this area, the area number 44 and 45. Now this area is very, very important. This area is also called as the Broca's area. Broca's area. So this area is responsible for spoken words. This is motor speech area. And why this area is important? As I told, we have 48 areas. present over the cerebrum. So these areas divided into the superior lateral as well as medial surface. All areas are bilateral. Bilateral means the areas present over the right hemisphere and left hemisphere. यहाँ पर भी एरिया नंबर हमको 9, 10, 11 मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर भी 9, 10, 11 मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर भी 312 मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर भी 312 मिलेंगे. But these two areas are unilateral. It lies in only one part of cerebrum. अब ये कैसे डिवाइड करके कहाँ पर मिलेगा? अगर मैं राइट हैंडी पर्सन है तो मेरा ब्रोकाज एरिया रहेगा लेफ्ट सेरेब्रल हेमिस्फीयर में. अगर कोई लेफ्ट हैंडी पर्सन है तो उसका ब्रोकाज एरिया रहेगा राइट सेरेब्रल हेमिस्फीयर. मैंने पहले बोला था cerebral decussation, the crossing of fibers occurs here. So remember, this Broca's area, it is unilateral. If I am right-handy person, then my Broca's area present in left cerebral hemisphere. If the left-handy person, his Broca's area lies in right cerebral hemisphere, exactly below the inferior frontal gyrus, or between inferior frontal gyrus and lateral sulcus, there is a Broca's area. So this is motor speech area. So it is the area for speech. अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूँ आपसे, it is just because of this motor speech area. Understand? Now another area present, so that is sensory speech area. So this area present over the parietal lobe, and number given to this area is 31 and 32. This is sensory speech area. So this area is also called as Wernicke's area. This is Wernicke's area. Area number 31 and 32. Where it present? It present in parietal lobe. The angular gyrus is there. So in that gyrus, the area present, that is 31, 32. This is Wernicke's area. This is sensory speech area. मैं जो भी आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, अगर आपको समझ में आ रही है, because your sensory speech area is functional. मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, मेरा मोटा स्पीच एरिया काम कर रहा है, एरिया नंबर 44, 45 ब्रोकास. आपको मेरी बात समझ में आ रही क्योंकि आपका एरिया नंबर 31 and 32 काम कर रहा है, because it is sensory speech area. Understand? Now the temporal lobe, the areas present over the temporal lobe. Now here the area number 21 and 22. It is important area. So where it present? It present in middle temporal gyrus. The middle temporal gyrus, the area present is the 21 as well as 22. So what it does? So this area is called as the primary auditory area. Again, it is very, very important. This is primary auditory area. What it does? So this area receives the all auditory impulses and interpret the auditory impulses. So this primary auditory area receiving all auditory impulses. Understand? Then another area, that is area number 41 and 42, where it present. So that area present in superior temporal gyrus. So this area is called as the secondary auditory area. This area is also called as the audiopsychic area. This is primary auditory area and this is secondary auditory area. The secondary auditory area, number given to that area is the 41 and 42. It present in superior temporal gyrus. And primary auditory area, number to this area is 21 and 22. It present in middle temporal gyrus. Now this area number 41 and 42, the function of this area. So this area concerned with the auditory impulses in relation with past memory. 41, 42. जैसे पास्ट मेमोरी, मैं कल बोलते बोलते एग्जांपल दिया था कि कोई गाना अगर मैंने सुन लिया तो पहले भी अगर मैंने सुन लिया तो रिकॉर्ड हो गया मेरे ब्रेन के अंदर, यहाँ एरिया में. बाद में कभी 8 दिन के बाद वही गाना अगर मैं सुन लिया तो ये एरिया मुझे याद दिलाता कि हाँ ये मूवी का गाना है, ये गाना ये फिल्म का है, ये उसका म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर वगैरह. So that area related with what you can see that. So it is auditory impulses in relation with past memory. पहले भी मैंने सुना है तो वो गाना और बाद में 8 दिन के बाद वही गाना सुनूंगा तो उसको इंटरप्रेट करेगा, हाँ ये वही गाना है, मुझे फटाक से याद आएगा क्योंकि ये एरिया उसको स्टोर करके रखता है. Now the next area, that is area number 17 and 18 as well as 19. Now these are the important areas present over the occipital lobe, 17, 18 and 19. The 17 and 19 area, so present in occipital gyrus. So these areas are also called as a primary visual area. They carry the all visual impulses. Area number 17 and area number 18. Then area number 19, again it present in occipital gyrus. So that area is called as the visuopsychic area, or the secondary visual area. So this is primary visual area number 17 and 18, and area number 19 is the secondary visual area or the visuopsychic area. So what it does, so this area analyzes the visual impulses. So these are the main areas present over the superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. Now the brain applied anatomy to these areas. If there is an injury to the area number 44 and 45, the condition developed, that is motor asphyxia. So what is motor asphyxia? The patient cannot speak. अगर ये एरिया डैमेज होता है मेरा, तो पेशेंट या जो भी सब्जेक्ट वो बात नहीं कर पाएगा. That condition is called as the motor asphyxia. If the area number 31 and 32 get damaged, the condition developed, that is sensory asphyxia. What is sensory asphyxia? अगर कोई बात कर रहा है और वो सब्जेक्ट को कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, सामने वाला उससे क्या बात कर रहा है, बिकॉज उसका ये एरिया डैमेज हो गया. So that condition is called as the sensory asphyxia. Then another damage, if there is a damage to the area number 4, so it is a motor area, if that area get damaged, the condition developed is paralysis. That is paralysis. If area number 17, 18 and 19 get damaged, the condition developed, that is loss of vision. If the injury to the 41 and 42, there is a loss of hearing. Understand? And if there is a damage to the frontal lobe, prefrontal area, the condition developed, there is a personality changes due to injury to the frontal lobe. For that purpose, I am giving one example here. So example that आप लोग सभी लोगों ने वो मूवी देखा होगा, क्या नाम उसका मूवी का, अपरिचित. अपरिचित. So what is that? वो जो पर्सन है उसका फ्रंटल लोब डैमेज है, उसका प्री फ्रंटल एरिया डैमेज है, दैट इज पर्सनैलिटी चेंजेस. सडन वो नॉर्मल बन जाएगा, सडन एबनॉर्मल बन जाएगा, कुछ टाइम के बाद नॉर्मल बन जाएगा, कुछ टाइम के बाद एबनॉर्मल बन जाएगा. द अपरिचित जो मूवी है वो बिल्कुल ये अप्लाइड एनाटॉमी में बनी है. द डैमेज टू द प्री फ्रंटल एरिया, द पर्सनैलिटी चेंजेस. इसको ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है, कितना भी ट्रीट करो उसको, वो पर्सन ट्रीट नहीं होगा. लाइफ टाइम वो अप्लाइड एनाटॉमी या वो कंडीशन उसमें रहेगा. पर्सनैलिटी चेंजेस बिकॉज ऑफ इंजुरी टू द प्री फ्रंटल एरिया. सो रिमेंबर these all are the important areas present over the superior lateral surface of the cerebrum. Thank you.